Hello, I'm Greg Diaz, principal of Riverbank High School. The purpose of this presentation is to inform you of the changes coming to Riverbank High for the 2022-2023 school year. I will be discussing our new bell schedules and Bruin time. If you would like more information about athletics, activities, and academics, please visit the Riverbank High School website. Under announcements, there is a link to the Parent Info Night presentation with the entire slide deck. So what's new for 2022? The state of California recently passed legislation stating that public high schools may not start school before 8:30 a.m. Because of this, the Riverbank High School staff has been working this year to create a bell schedule that fits this mandate. What you're reviewing is next year's regular day bell schedule. Please notice that classes will begin 8:30 a.m. and students will be released for the day at 3:16 p.m. Breakfast will be served from 8:15 to 8:25, and lunch will be right around noon, with Bruin time right before that. I will discuss Bruin time in more detail here in a moment. But again, our regular day bell schedule has our students starting class at 8:30 a.m. and being released for the day at 3:16 p.m. We will continue to have our late start schedule, but there are some changes to this as well. The biggest change is that next year, Riverbank High School will have a late start schedule every Wednesday. Currently, we have a late start schedule every other Wednesday. Again, next year, late start schedule will be every Wednesday, where students begin school at 9:32 a.m. and are released at 3:16 p.m. Notice that there is no Bruin time during a late start schedule. Breakfast is still available prior to school starting, and lunch is in the middle of the day. The minimum day schedule has also been adjusted to have students begin school at 8:30 a.m. and will now be released at 12:41 p.m. Brunch will be available for students after third period, and lunch will be served to students at the release of the day at 12:41. Again, breakfast will be available prior to school starting. What you're reviewing here is the Riverbank High School vision statement and the Riverbank High School mission statement. The common thread between these two statements is this: we are working to prepare your student for success after high school. As we've been creating Bruin Time, we've also created the following Bruin Time mission statement. Riverbank High School is committed to creating an academic culture where failure is not an option. So what is Bruin Time? Bruin Time is a built-in intervention and enrichment model designed to reinforce, reteach, review, and enrich learning targets. If you look at the picture at the bottom of the screen, on the left-hand side, you will see Riverbank High School's current model. Instruction plus time equals learning. In this model, the instruction is constant, the time is constant, but the learning is variable. For example, all students come to the same class. They receive the same instruction for the same amount of time, but not all students learn at the same pace. So when they receive that instruction during that same time and they leave, not all students have necessarily learned what we've intended them to learn. But in our current model, we move to the next day and we continue instruction from where we left off. With Bruin time on the right, you can see that instruction plus time still equals learning. But that instruction is now variable, time now variable, and learning should be more constant. For example, in the first scenario, the students come to class, they get the same instruction for the same amount of time, but they don't all learn at the same pace. With Bruin time, we can bring the students back into class and give them more time and change the instructional approach. We can continue to do this until the student has reached the learning target that we intended them to learn. Now, you may be asking, that sounds great, but what about the students who don't need the extra time? Those are the students who are going to like Bruin Time the most because now they get to choose how they spend that 37 minutes each day. For example, our student athletes miss a lot of school during 5th and 6th periods to travel to events around the county. With Bruin Time, and they know they're leaving, they can choose to go to that instructor's lab and get the assignments that they will be missing for the day and actually receive instruction from the teacher. Our AP students and honor students may have more questions for the teacher than they have time in class to ask. They can choose to attend that teacher's lab and ask those questions or get more support if they want to. If they're in a CTE program like agriculture, cooking, graphic design, or construction, students can choose to use that time to go work on their projects when they want to. Again, the model is designed for students to receive support that they need, whether that's intervention to get them caught up on their learning targets, or if they're already caught up on their learning targets, they can choose to utilize that time however they see fit. So, why are we doing this? The graph that you're viewing is data from the last 4 school years during the fall semester. The blue line is our freshmen, the orange is our sophomores, the gray are juniors, and the yellow are seniors. These numbers are indicating students that had at least 2 failing grades during the fall semesters. You may notice the substantial decline between our junior class and our senior class all 4 years. This is in large part because those students are academically behind and they are changed to an alternative setting, in our case, Adelante High School. Over the last 4 years, 29% of our ninth graders on average have been receiving at least 2 failing grades. By the time the first semester is over, they were already off target for graduation. 27% of our sophomores, 20% of our juniors, and 4% of our seniors. But that's not the only reason. We're also doing it because we really do care about what is best for your child. We really do live our mission and our vision statement, and we want to prepare your child for what comes after graduation. If you look at the second bullet here, you can see that Riverbank High School over the last 5 years has averaged almost 97% graduation rate. That means when your child comes to Riverbank High, he or she will most likely leave us as a graduate. But graduating from high school and being prepared for what comes next are not necessarily the same thing. We want to ensure that the time your student spends at Riverbank High School makes them viable after graduation, regardless of what they choose to do. So when your student is here, either incoming freshman or a current student at Riverbank High School, please encourage your student to get involved. Get involved in athletics. Get involved in academics. Get involved in clubs. That will give your student the best chance for success at Riverbank High School and beyond. Not only that, it will give them an experience that they truly deserve, which is a fun, rewarding experience at high school. We cannot do this by ourselves. We need your help and we need your support. So please, please reach out to us. We will be reaching out to you when we need to. In order to do this, we must ensure that the contact information that we have on file is up to date and correct. At the beginning of the school year, please update your contact information with a working telephone number or email address or both. We will be contacting you for both good things and for the, well, not as good things. But regardless of why we contact you, we need your support. We need to work together as a team in the best interest of your son or your daughter so they have the best experience at Riverbank High and beyond. Thank you. If you have any questions about any of this, please feel free to reach out to the school at 869 1891, or you can visit the website to get any contact information for individual teachers or staff. We look forward to working with you. We look forward to next year. And as always, once a Bruin, always a Bruin. Thank you.